and nothing.
Right.
And then one word, he's like, oh, I know
that word. My daughter told me, she was like, Mom, we need to hurry up and get Kingston in Spanish because I don't want him to have to suffer like I did. It was hilarious.
Oh, my goodness. That's funny.
Well, let's get to something real serious today. I was kind of traumatized today, to say the least. So today I'm sure that everybody got the not the Amber Alert, but it was the alert sent out by Stockton Police Department, and I think that several news sources had linked that there was an active shooter on San Joaquin downtown. And so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because it was like bothersome for me.
Yeah.
Having kids downtown who go to school, and so I was telling Ariel. Still gonna put that on there. I practiced too long for that. That I was sitting down, and I looked up and I saw like a few dozen people running down the street. So I automatically put my social work hat on. I'm like, oh my God, there's a crisis. What's going on? Let me see how I can help. Yeah. So I'm running to the situation.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous. It was like I've never felt so trapped downtown Stockton.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to chat about that. What were your thoughts when you got the news?
When I seen it, it's like that surreal moment. It's very much possible. And it's not like 10 years ago where if somebody said someone's coming to shoot up your school or, do something, it wasn't as big of a deal.
Right.
But now whenever you get any type of alert like that, it's it hits really close that wow, this could really be.
Right. This is it.
Oh wow, it's not can this actually happen? It's more of is this our turn?
Right.
Especially with so many active shootings that we've had in just this year alone, it was it's surreal.
It was so surreal. And what tripped me out the most was how the kids were so almost routine to take cover. This is the first thing my 11-year-old said. Mom, when we got the alert, I went under my desk and I put my hand on my head like this, and I got real small like a bun. So just in case they came in to shoot me, they wouldn't see me because I was so small. And I was just like, whoa. Yeah. But he said it so calmly.
He was ready.
He was ready.
Yeah.
And that was the piece that really frightened me even more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our kids are normalizing.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the the normal of it. Because I was kind of shocked that St. Mary's was having their active shooter drill the other day as well. And I was like, you know what? It's weird that they're having it, but also why haven't the other schools done it? Because it could happen, you know. And I've only got a little first grader. Honestly, if I would have heard that story, I would have been like, that's it. We're living inside of our home. We're never leaving.
Gonna lock up the windows.
You're not allowed to go anywhere. You're not allowed to talk to nobody.
Right. But it makes you go there. It makes you so fearful. What is happening? And I think it was maybe you would have thought the whole SPD was downtown, in the sheriff office and the fire department. It was just really scary.
Yeah.
But again, it was so normal. People were just standing on the corner just looking. There was no stranger danger or no fright. People being fearful. People were just
yeah.
It was very strange, but it just kind of, as a social worker and a therapist and a clinician, I just kind of felt like, man, we have turned into a society where we are normalizing violence. And that is a problem.
Yeah.
After everything was clear and it was determined that it was a false alarm, I was like, well, we need to be having some groups. For kids to process how they feel.
Yeah.
And adults to process how they feel.
Yeah.
But everybody just went around went around their merry way. And so for me, I started doing some investigating and calling like my friends who were teachers, and they were like, oh yeah, we have these drills all the time. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, when we went to school, we had what? Fire drill?
Yeah.
Earthquake.
And even the fire seems so like, okay, that's never going to happen.
Right.
Why are we wasting our time? And now we've got our kids in an area where they have to know how to respond to an active shooter, and now we're not even dealing with the type of traumas that they could be going through if they did go through what your son went through, being so close.
Right.
And I don't even know how like the teachers are feeling, or how the kids are going, like, are their parents having conversations with them? Are we, giving them like resources? And some people think that it's not that big of a deal because it was, a false alarm.
Yeah.
But it could have easily been that school next,
Well, and thank you for bringing it up, because what people are failing to understand is the result of trauma. Like, even if we're constantly and consistently viewing these things on, like, YouTube or the news or Facebook, even though you've never been in there, but having those type of exposures to having another exposure, granted it was false, that brings things up. And so I think that that's a piece that we continue to fail.
Yeah.
As a society, it's like we don't talk about it enough. So
yeah, it's like a new thing that I've seen, and I know there's a lot of concerns, like looking through the comments and stuff of what happened, and reports, and people being angry that it was false and that people let it go, to everybody thinking it was an active shooter. But again, it's just, I would be so heartbroken if that was my kid's story.
Yeah, I know.
Would be like, no, just stay home for the rest
right,
of the year.
Right, but it's like, then you don't want to like
teach them fear.
Teach them fear and live in fear, but then it's like, where's the balance in it?
Yeah, for sure, because there's not like anything, at least I don't think there's anything for us, the Stockton district, that's currently doing anything in regards to how we're going to cope with this type of stuff, Right. Because it's not like we only get active shooter alerts, we get people, claiming that there's someone on campus with a gun, or that someone's they're locking down the campus.
Right.
And like, even though like there wasn't very many campus lockdowns when I went to high school, but now that we know that the campus lockdown could mean something a lot more, like what are we doing to tell the parents all the information that we know, and are we doing anything to talk to the kids who feel like they might be even triggered by the event,
And what's so interesting about that is that I think that for Stockton, we need to understand and realize that we have had a fatality. We have had that.
Yeah.
Cleveland Elementary, I don't know what year it was, in the late 80s.
Yeah, I think it was 80s.
Yeah. And so we have, in the community, we have felt the impact of that. And so are things as normal as we think they are?
Yeah. For sure.
I would disagree to that. And I think that you're right. Maybe we need, as a community, to take a closer look at safety precautions. Now, there was something that I did catch, and I just felt that it was troubling. There was a small group of police officers that went to the wrong building. So then again, because county buildings, there's so many county buildings. So I don't know how the call went down. But there were some police officers that were at different buildings. I was just like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, for sure.
So, and trying to get a grasp of things. But like we said, at the end, it's a good thing that it wasn't real. And it's a good thing that there was a good response time.
Yeah.
But I just would, in the future, think that we should incorporate some type of debrief.
Yeah. For
our students and our kids and our teachers.
Yeah, I would not even know what to do in that situation as a teacher.
I would not either.
It was, especially like with such little training that they already get with, how to deal with, kids and their backgrounds and how that affects them in the classroom. And now we've got to deal with how their kids are going to respond in the classroom after have gone through something like this that could, trigger something or could cause like a reaction that's negative. So we just have to really watch out for our kids. And, if you have a teacher or if you know somebody that was in that situation, reach out and see if they need anything, someone just to talk to.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to reach out to and just maybe offer that, because that's a really good idea. I think that everybody is kind of like holding their kids a little tighter tonight.
Yeah.
And even the teachers are probably holding their kids a little tighter tonight, but opportunities for people to really process is definitely
yeah. I think that's a big thing of it. It's just like take a moment to like step back and handle how you feel, how like everybody else is feeling, and if you do need someone to talk to, or somebody who is like in that very situation, at the very least reach out. And just talk to each other. Like, we've become like more of a society where, although we've moved past everybody trying to bottle up all of their emotions, we're still trying to break that ice of people just like actually talking to each other. So I think it's really important that if you weren't there or you didn't really know about the situation, but you knew somebody who teaches there, like send them a text. Just letting them know that's okay, that they can hit your lineup and talk to you.
Absolutely love it. So what I really wanted to talk about is I don't know if like the community knows what your specialties are and what you do. Because I think that one of the Ariel and I met on Facebook. I don't know, I think I've been like patronizing with you for 5 or 6 years. It's been a long time.
My daughter,
your baby was a baby.
Yeah, she was a baby.
So now I'm like first grade. I'm like, whoa, she got big fast. She got big fast, and I remember she was a baby. But one of the things that I've always admired about you is, first of all, you're a go-getter. And very strategic and intentional in how you bargain and how you shop and why you do that.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I think that collectively, we're kind of living at a time where everybody is like, every dollar counts. And so, just wanting to kind of talk about how like poverty and income has, so the cost of living is here and our wages is here. And so how are you feeling about the face of the new working class, the new working moms, and suggestions, insight on like how to, because I don't know if we'll ever beat this, every $5 you make, you got to pay out 10. But how do you kind of work through this crunch time we're dealing with the recession?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I see a lot of, like, for the people that don't know, like, I'm a huge couponer and I coupon for everything.
Super big. Super.
If there is a coupon, a deal, a sale, or anything, I know about it. And if there isn't a coupon code, I'm usually the first person to ask the rep, the sales rep, anybody I'm talking to, whatever it is I'm trying to purchase. I'm usually like, look, I'm super awesome, you're super awesome, how about you give me like a 20% discount, and I see a lot of those faces. I see a lot of those faces that have come and have to dealt with, for every $5 they make, they've got to put away or send out $10, and there's a negative balance there. And I've been teaching a lot of families like that, families who want to find a way to stay home with the kids, families that are single or one income homes, or families that have just been so stricken by being stuck in poverty that they've kind of like now just keep adding mouths and now they don't know what to do. And I found out about couponing basically during my nesting stages of pregnancy. I was with my boyfriend and we were like, okay, we're going to keep this baby. We're going to make it do. And I already knew that there was no way I was going to go back to work. I was like, there's no possible way that I'm going to see this beautiful little thing that I've created and I'm just going to leave it. And I wanted to breastfeed for the first year. So I was like, I've got to figure out a way to kind of make it work. And that's when I found couponing. It was like through that extreme couponing show that I'm sure everybody's watched and stuff. And then so I found my balance and I got really good at it really fast. And then that's when I started teaching, and I have been for now a few years now. My daughter, she's in the first grade, and so
man, that's so
I know
amazing.
time flies. So like you said, it's all about strategy. All of my classes are advertised as you can change your financial situation through couponing. And it's like a statement that people think that, oh, well, she's in sales and she doesn't have to live paycheck for paycheck. She can literally just dip into a stockpile or a sale item and she can flow in some new income, and she's not restricted by like a salary or a pay wage. And a lot of people have that misconception about me because they do see that I'm like really sales oriented, but it hasn't always been that way. I went from 2 incomes to 1 and a new mouth.
Yeah.
And and I met couponing when I had to figure out how was I going to be able to afford a new mouth and not neglect anything that she needed, and also, deal with wanting to stay at home. And I was able to make it work. I was able to build my stockpile, and then anytime I needed a flow of money coming in, I could just whip out bundles, and it was all about strategy. If I could get toothpaste for 100% free, I'd sell it, for $2, and then, and I knew if I bought this many coupons and I bought this many tubes of toothpaste or whatever I was buying, I knew I would make this amount of money, and if I did it within a week then I would be able to, add another item to the house or whatever the case may be, and it's all about strategy. It
really is.
I
don't think people understand that too.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was couponing, like, you would have to look at the deals like a week ahead. You would have to match up the coupon to the deals, strategize your stores. Like, it really is.
And your time. Because, like I said, I deal with families that are either working, multiple jobs, are the only income, or I'm dealing with somebody who has 5 babies under the age of 9, and their time is very limited. So, over the course of the years that I've been able to kind of like see what people are grasping and like kind of like seeing what works for them and what doesn't work for them, I've been able to kind of like shape my classes into it being all about strategy, about being able to manage your time, managing your budget, looking at it and being like, okay, how much money do I have coming in? How much do I have going out? Because you'll be surprised at how many people don't know how much money is leaving their bank account and where it's going. It'll be like, oh, well, yeah, I made $400 this week, but for some reason I'm negative $600.
Yeah, not knowing where you're...
Not knowing where it's going. And so, we deal a lot. I feel like we deal a lot with that in Stockton because a lot of people are either like commuters, or they are just trying to work whatever job it is they can work, or they've made like really bad credit choices that is like still affecting their day-to-day lives. And it's just, it's crazy, but people think I'm crazy when I say you could change your entire financial situation through couponing. And I will tell you a story about this lady. She took my class almost 3 years ago, and she really wanted to stay home, and that was an opportunity that her husband could give her with his income. And she didn't want her son to have to ever like not be able to afford to go to college, because she never went to college, or be able to like find a business idea that he wanted to do and then not have the money or be able to have the credit or whatever. And so I always used to use an example of, if you saved X amount of money every month by selling X amount of bundles every month, you would be able to put yourself in this position in 5 years. Whether you're trying to buy a home, you're trying to, invest in yourself, in business, whatever. And so she took that math, and she messaged me a couple months back, and she was like, oh, my baby's about to turn 3. We're doing great. I've got a huge stockpile, and my kid has $30,000 in his bank account. over the course of 3 years. So she took my basic math of saving $10,000 a year divided by 12 months, and it was like this. It seems more complicated, I swear, than it is.
Right.
But she was like, it only took me 3 years to do $30,000. It took me and my husband with 2 incomes more time to get our house down payment and our credit good so that we can buy our house than it took for me to get my kid $30,000. And her goal is $10,000 a year for the next 18 years. And when he turns 18, he's going to have this big old bank account that she's going to give to him and tell him, like, look, go out and conquer the world. Start a business, go to college, do whatever your heart desires. And I was like, wow, like that really is like the power of being able to teach somebody how to do something so strategic and also be able to find a balance, with what's important.
And what I like about, one thing that I just really admired about you is your consistency. Mm-hmm. Because let me tell you guys, for all those that are listening, you have never strayed away from that very message of being extremely intentional and strategic and committed. I think that a lot of times people fall off, or it gets difficult, it gets hard.
Yeah.
Even for myself, because I haven't couponed in years.
Yeah.
But when I was couponing, I was really good at that. Especially my little JCPenney game. Man,
I remember.
I would leave JCPenney with like $300 worth of stuff, like $50.
Yeah, I remember those.
Those were the good days. Yeah. But you can. So I guess the bottom line is that you really can be comfortable, save money with commitment, determination, and drive. I remember I used to have my kids cutting those coupons out. Well, I'm telling you, it's a family ordeal.
It really is. It's a family affair for sure, because and the commitment thing, it's funny because about a year and a half ago or so, I added a commitment sheet to my coupon classes. It was
impressive.
Yeah, so I already was doing the goals thing. I'd be like, there's a lot of huff and puff in the coupon and like the community. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. Like sometimes deals don't work out. The computer glitches and your coupon's not accepted. And then you've got some people who get really nervous about like the huffs and puffs for people behind you and stuff. And I realized that what they needed a goal, so I added a goal portion of it. Like, what's the reason that you're doing this? Like, are you trying to save like $1,000 at the end of the year by selling like $25 bundles, or are you just trying to like build your stockpile as high as you can and then not coupon for a while? What is it you're trying to do? And then I kind of tied it in with my commitment sheet, because a lot of the time you can know your why, but if you haven't like set it up to yourself, like, hey, I'm gonna commit to just couponing for 6 months, and then I'm gonna stop for the rest of the year unless I see like a really good deal or something, and then I like, that's my success to me. Because I have girls who will coupon from January to March, what I like to call quarter one of the year, and they will stockpile for everything they can stockpile, like really hard. Like everybody knows, don't ask me to go to birthday parties, don't nothing, and then they build their family stockpile, and then for the rest of the year they have everything that they need, and they're not spending any money on like basic
so they
things.
Just coupon for a quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and that works really well. They mostly the moms that I know that do that, they are like super busybodies. They're like into soccer, their kids are in ballet, they've got a whole bunch of things, and it's kind of like their off season to go out and just get everything that they need. And it is a commitment, and it's a family affair, because like a lot of people would, a lot of my girls who couponed with me, they kind of would get kind of like undetermined almost, when everybody in their household was like, why are you clipping those coupons? It's such a waste of time. Like, no, I won't, watch the kids while you go to CVS or whatever the case may be, and it sucks because, my man, he's amazing. Shout out to him. I know he's watching. He knows I love him.
Listen, and I only met him one time, but I knew exactly who he was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're the always going to CVS, huh?
Yes. Because
it's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
He's so awesome. Yeah. But when I got into it, I remember he was like, oh my God, why are we even bothering with this? Like, let's do something else. Like, okay, whatever. And I was like, look, he was like really into the gym. He's still into the gym, but there was these protein bars that he was spending like $250 on or something like that years ago. And then so I was like, oh look, I found a deal that says that we shouldn't pay for nothing. So I'm gonna go and get you like 100 bars. He's like, you're gonna get 100 bars for nothing. I was like, yeah, it's California, so they don't tax food, so we're gonna go in and we're not gonna pay for nothing. So he loads up all these protein bars. He's like, I'm gonna be so mad if we leave this register. We have to pay for all these bars. I'm like, no, watch it.
I got it.
So we get to the register. Everything works out good, except for we ended up having to pay for one bar because the lady didn't scan that last coupon. I know I gave it to her, but it didn't scan.
She wasn't letting you go for
no,
0.
I know. And so I know it didn't scan. So it's like $2 and like 39 cents or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I should have been 0. And he's looking at me like, well, man, can you just pay before they catch us and just let's go? I'm like,
just pay the $2.39.
Yeah. And so, we walk out. He's
but
looking
it's
at
a
the
principle.
receipt.
When you're a real couponer, it's like it's a principle, y'all.
I was just getting started. So, I was like, no, you need to see this. And, we walk out and we're looking at our receipt. And I'm like, look, it says she missed one coupon. We should go back. And he's all like, you just walked out with all of these things
for free,
for basically free, and you're complaining about one bar. I was like, well, it was supposed to be free.
I get you.
And I had just gotten started. It was like my first haul that we did together. And after that, like, he's seen the potential it had. Right. He was like, all right, whatever you need to do, whatever you need me to do, I got you. And since then, he's always been willing to ride with me to do hauls, to cook coupons, to watch the girls and leave me alone so I can go do the hauls or whatever.
Love it.
Yeah, and so it's a commitment thing, like, to yourself, but also to your family. Because if you go to your husband and you tell him, look, I'm going to better our situation, but he's not willing to help you, then why would you keep going? Why would you go out of your way to spend hours flipping coupons, looking at all these posts about deals, and then going and deal with, the cashier that may not be so nice, and the system that may not work in your favor. Sometimes
that
you walk
happens.
out, walk out sometimes with wasted time, and then you have somebody who's constantly telling you, like, you shouldn't be doing this, like, you're wasting your time, it's a waste of money, like, we don't need all this stuff, we don't have no space. It's excuses, but you got to get on the same page with them,
Right. And then in the end result of it, too, because I remember I would share with family members that may not have had, laundry soap or toothpaste or toothbrushes, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's like you said, is what have you structured yourself as an end result? Yeah. What's the commitment? Why? The why. And internalizing that. Yeah. But I love the fact about saving money for, college for the kids or a house or to repair your credit. Yeah. I think that there's so much. And plus it's actually fun.
It really is fun. Like, people are like, no, it's fun to you because you know how to do it. But no, it's a lot of fun. And like,
especially when you get in the coupon groups.
Yeah, you've got like a really big group, and you can like go with each other, share deals and stuff like that. It's a lot more fun when you have other people with you. And people think like, oh, it's just couponing. Like, people think that I'm like bold with my statement that you can change your financial situation through couponing. But if you were to take all the money that you're currently spending on household items, just like the basic things like your laundry detergent, your toiletries, your if you were to take your shampoo, conditioners, and body washes, and all the hygiene items, like, think how much you're spending on that. And if you were able, if somebody just gave you that money every single month, would you try couponing? Oh, of course you would. You'd be like, yeah, if you're gonna hand me $200 because that's what I'm spending currently, right. You would be like, yeah, come on, tell me what I gotta do, and so that's how people can really change their situations, because sometimes families are just spending everything that they have, towards just trying to get by.
What's so funny is I remember, Safeway with the $5 fries. Oh, yeah. So I went in with, I got maybe about $300 worth of items. And I remember giving them the coupons. There was a lady behind me. And when that money started dropping, and it went from $300 to like $24.99, that lady was like, "Oh my God! Like, you gotta show me how to do that." But that excitement to go in and have that money, that much product.
Yeah.
To like $300 to like now $20, because most of the time you're paying for the taxes.
Yeah, the taxes. California eats you up in taxes.
Right, California eats you up in taxes. That is beautiful. Yeah. I love it. So I would love for people to just be more open to the opportunities. Yeah. Because that saved money, and now it's like clicking in my head. I don't know if I have time for it, but it's just like, because Christmas is actually a good time to keep on as well.
Yes, it is a great time.
Especially on the retail with Victoria's Secrets and what else is good during the JCPenney? That's my jam. I
know. I remember. I used to be like, "Girl, you're so good at JCPenney." Right. See, my sister worked at JCPenney at the time, so she was always bugging me to be like, "Don't come and be annoying." So I would always
come and be very annoying, extremely annoying.
You know, so I would try to stay away from JCPenney, but I see your JCPenney hauls all the time. I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Hopefully they do this again, but this is how I got really good. For every $75 gift card you get, you get a $25 gift.
They gave you the coupon for the 25 off 25s.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you can get the doorbuster with those coupons on top of the points.
Yeah, and then on top of the points.
Yes, I would kill it every year. So I ended up, why I had so many coupons is I got every one of my nieces and nephews the gift cards, and then I kept the 25.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
So I had like $1,000. It was cool, but again, think of everything that you got, because I got I didn't go for the small stuff. I got the jackets, and the cookware, and the sleepwear, the
PJs,
yeah. But now I hate to say it, my friends have stopped telling people about it. Ladies and gentlemen, do not sleep on the Dillard's.
Oh my God. Okay, I remember when you first told me, I was like, what is she talking about? I walked up to the mall and that line was so big. I was like, I can't stay here.
So you didn't get
I didn't get off. I haven't gone yet.
Okay, so you're going to go this year, right?
Have you let me cut?
Listen. Calm me, girl. Because I go in there, I swear, you can buy a $350 high quality too, high quality mattress, bed in a bag. What is it? Bed in a bag. Retail at $359. I would get them $75.
That's so crazy.
And let me tell y'all, so y'all know your girl can't go one time. I would go 3 times. It was so funny because the cashier would be like, "Oh, you're back again?"
"Oh, you're back again."
Mind your business.
For real,
mind your business. But I would buy you can buy high quality clothing. That's the only time I go in to Dillard's, except for Super Bowl Sunday, because they have a mad shoe sale on that day too. So they always have this. So those are probably the only few times. But what I will say, this is what I used to give out as advice for Dillard's. Every often, just go in and get $100 gift card. And just save it.
And then save it for the sale. Yeah, so when you want to splurge, just go buy a gift card and wait on the deals.
That's it. So as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to start buying that now.
Yeah, you're
listen, y'all. Don't call me on, I don't care what happens on January 1st. Kiberly Warmsle will not be available. I'm going to Dillard's. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids, because they're always trying to steal my my bed in the my what is it bed in the bag.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why don't you guys save your own money and buy your own?
Yes.
Just get all my stuff.
I know. I be seeing your posts, girl. I'm them kids. Oh
they
my
love
goodness.
it, girl. They love it. They love it. So, what else you want to chat about? This is Girl Talk. Girl Talk Friday.
Yeah.
So we done talked about the active shooters. We done talked about couponing, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So what's in store for you in the next?
Well,
what does 2020 look like for you?
So I think that for 2020, I will be probably cutting the coupon classes a little low.
Y'all better come.
Yeah, I know. And I might just throw it into like a automation. Like I lived in Florida for a while, and I did a couple of like coupon classes that were like through like a program, almost like Udemy type of thing.
Yeah.
And I might bring that back, and then just like have it available like for really cheap, and like for like a little small like fee, and just have it up there. But 2020 will probably just come with a ton of like business oriented stuff.
Nice.
This year, I moved into an agency, and I kind of I'm just doing that right now. And so I probably would just stick with the advertisements and just dealing with business online. I'll probably be online for like the rest of the year.
That's really good. That's very smart.
Yeah.
Because I think that we talk about priority.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, a lot of times, we don't make things priority.
Yeah.
But having things online for people to have opportunities to come back to or circle back to on their own accord or their own process may be great.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do that. What is her name? I think her name is the financial budgetista on the East Coast. She does those classes to restore credit or to fix your credit or understand your credit, and that's at your own pace, like a curriculum.
Yeah, kind of like your own thing.
Yeah.
I think too. That life just kind of like attacks people sometimes, and it's not necessarily that like life attacks you. It's like you let things happen to you, and I think that, all of that can, that's why I like the whole automation idea, because it can kind of like, once you feel like you're in the right place to kind of take it, then you can go ahead and do it. And, some people just move at their own pace, and, that's okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, we're excited. I love the idea of like keeping it on kind of do at your own pace. Because hey, the struggle is real. It really is.
Yeah, I mean,
really is.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter if Deontay runs off and does his best year in sales, and he's like, just come away with me and let's never go back to California. I'm still gonna be like, okay, we'll do that, but I'm still gonna be pushing these coupon classes because everybody needs to know how to coupon.
Right.
Whether you are a young mom, like if it's just you, like I really don't understand how some people go out and like work minimum wage and then have these kids and they are like stretching that penny. Like it's like taffy to some women. Like they are like making that penny bleed, and I'm like, it could be easier. Like through couponing, it could be easier.
Really can be.
And it could change your situation just by, you being able to like actually know what savings is and actually be able to like control your budget and then manage your money correctly.
Right. Because looking at the larger scheme of it too, I'm just kind of recalling some of my history, is you save money in the store, you get more, and guess what? You have more at home. So that kind of adds to your lack of desire to go to that fast food place to like buy that coffee unless it's a coupon. But
you're playing a coupon for everything.
Right, you really do. But it's like it just helps the family system in a broader scheme of things.
Yeah.
And you just have a lot more money to do other things. Especially clothing. People don't realize that you can go to the store and get
like
major discounts.
Major discounts. Like I'd be like, some people are like, well, with like my Victoria's Secret sales recently, some people are like, okay, well, I don't understand how you can sell it for this cheap. Like, why is it this cheap? Like, oh, of course it's not stolen. I know you, but what is it? What do you like? I'll be like, look, I can show you the receipt. It might make you cry a little, but you got to take my couponing class, because like really it does not. You really do. It's like some people will be like, well, I will usually pay like $40-$50 for like a sweater at Victoria's Secret, and you're selling it for $25-$30. Like, girl, what'd you do? Like, what you mean it's not stolen? And
and they don't understand.
They don't get it.
No,
they don't get it. But it comes down to just people be a little bit more open-minded. But when you are in a solid place, like if money was not an option, like you didn't have to pay your rent this month, the landlord said, you know what, your rent's $1,200. Like, just keep it this month. Like, how much happier would you be that month? Not because of the money, but because you don't have to stress that your car needs gas, that your insurance needs to be paid, that your kids' basketball, needs new shoes or whatever the case may be. Like, it's not the money that makes you happy. It's what that money is able to do for the people that you love.
Absolutely.
Because sitting on a bed of $100,000 isn't going to do nothing for me. But if my little girl came to me and she's like, I want to run off and spend $100,000 on this great business idea that I have, and I'm laying on this bed, I'm gonna be like, look, baby, take the money, go do you, come back with my 12%, okay? No, my boyfriend's gonna be looking at this and he's gonna be like, 12%? He charged our babies 12%? Because I charge him $25 to do my marketing.
Uh-oh.
So I should have said,
oops, I meant what had happened was,
baby girls, y'all owe me 25% because your dad owes me 25%. So the whole family 25%, okay?
That's it. Standard rate, period.
Yeah, the standard
drops
rate.
Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's just not what it's what the money can do, and if you're a good, solid person, the money does not change a person, it just magnifies who you are. And that's really important to understand, because being that I am super sales oriented, and some people think that like I'm just out there, if you really think that couponing can change somebody's life, why don't you just do the classes for free? It was like, I've put so much time and effort into researching what my students have been able to retain, what works for them, and I put these so many hours that I'm worth that price, And it's not that I wouldn't want to do a free coupon class, and it's not that I don't think that this works. It's just that my time is valuable too.
Absolutely.
When I go out of my way to take on 10 new girls for couponing, and they want to do hauls together and they want to be in group chats together, like that takes away from my family, and that takes away from my time being able to do whatever it is I'm doing. So I'm worth that price. And the people that aren't willing to pay that price are usually people that are, probably, in debt and aren't taking control of their lives and want to blame other people for the things that happen to them,
Right.
So
right.
it's just that, and then they think that it's about the money thing, and it's not about that. It's that, it's just that, it's worth it. And
it's a boundary for you, because I think that a lot of times people want things for free. Which if you can do, you can do.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of times you can't do. And so you do need that professional boundary to say, yes, I am, a budgetista, someone who can show you how to save money. But just like if you went to the dentist or the doctor or, or anything, you're going to pay something.
Yeah, you're going to pay something. And, it's a lot of people don't realize either that like you guys are like a lot of people are willing to go out and spend $5 on coffee and $25 on like a family meal like KFC or whatever the case may be. If you just took one of those items away one time, you would be in my class. And in my class, if you go off of what I show you, you're able to multiply it. And I constantly have students that tell me like where they've moved in their progression and like what they've been able to save. And like, to some people like to think it's weird that people share, their money, like, savings with me. But it's really amazing and just humbling to see that families can take what I've learned and the things that I've put together and be like, look, I literally have $30,000 in the bank account for my 3-year-old son,
It changes the trajectory of the family. It also improves the quality of life.
It does.
Because now you're not feeling so overwhelmed with, bills or obligations. It's fulfilling. Yeah. It really is. So I really hope that this information is helpful.
Yeah.
To people, because I think again it just changes the direction. And I do want to just add one more thing. As you were talking, I was thinking about how poverty and not having the ability to like pay your bills and take care of your family, take care of yourself, that causes so much emotional distress.
So much emotional distress.
It really does. And so just taking some time to like that Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many. I don't know if you were the one who did it like years ago. Someone had dropped like different websites that you can go and get like electronic.
Like Linktree.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah. That was me.
And you can get like, even if you were like at McDonald's or Burger King or Starbucks,
that was a lot of hours. I don't do it anymore, but
oh man, that was a good one too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Anytime you can save something, even if it's as small as like getting a coffee for free in the morning, or a small latte at Starbucks, like that adds up. Because I'm sitting here thinking about like, I think I don't do it as much, but $6 times 5 times 30.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and like and a lot of people don't put that in perspective. Like they're not willing to go out and save like X amount of money for themselves, or like go out and like invest in their kids, or go out and just like cut something out. Like savings really is like if you pay your rent every single month. And now you are rent free. Like you're like, wow, like my landlord said you have 12 months of free rent. Like savings is taking that rent and putting it away and having a purpose for it though. Because, a lot of the times it's like, okay, well, I'm saving all this money. Like, what do I do? Like, am I supposed to like run off and go, buy a new pair of shoes or something? Right. It's more, it's more of like just being very purpose driven, And that's
intentional.
And that's what I love about you too, girl. Like you are super intentional with everything that you do. All the free events, all the posting, the reshares, and like just uplifting one another in the community. It's like it's all about intention.
Yeah, and we gotta be like that. I think that again, this betters the quality of life. And I don't know if you know it now, but I hope you know it later, that you are reshaping the quality of families' lives and instilling hope for people, and discipline. That's big. Like being disciplined.
So
disciplined to pay those bills.
You're like, you know what?
That's horrible. It's sad, but that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And thanks for being on the show.
Yeah,
it's going down memory lane. I'm feeling all like, dang, I wish I had a coupon.
I know. I know. You remember when I was supposed to come over to your coffee thing, and I was like, I'm going to bring over these coupons. I forgot what happened that day.
Oh.
I was like, I got this huge stack of coupons left over. I was like, I'll bring them to Kiberly.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what Kiberly does with these.
Right. Because we have been talking about that.
We've been talking about the coupons. Yeah, but no.
I think I might do some things for the holidays, because now I got
the holidays are a great time to start.
It really is.
I mean, if you especially like if you're like really conscious of your money and you know how much you're gonna spend during the holidays, like you can cut that a bit, and just kind of save it a little bit and kind of cut corners in like certain areas and just like find like coupon codes and all this other stuff, and just ask. Like you guys would be surprised at how many times I've just asked for a discount. And it's happened. So it's
closed mouth don't get fed.
Closed mouths don't get fed. We were at Taco Bell a couple months back when they just they did like some construction or something. They just opened up, and so we pulled up to the window, and the lady's like, "Oh, if you're gonna order, it's gonna be a while if you're paying with card because our card machine just went down." It's like, oh, it's cool. They're like the only ones here, like whatever. Right. So we pull up to the window and they're like, the card reader is just not working. The whole rebooting system is not working.
What?
So she's like, I'm so sorry, but it's not working. And so she's looking at her manager like, what do we do? They're paying with card. And I'm like, y'all could just give us the food for free. And they're like,
okay.
Oh yeah, I guess I can give you the food for free. And we walked away with 2 boxes for like 100% free. The guy was so cool. He was like, it's like his day was made by just like me trying to solve his problem.
Listen.
I mean, the food was already made. Everything was good. Like the only thing you're gonna do is either eat it or toss
throw it away.
Like you might as well just give me the food for free. And my boyfriend's in the car like, I can't believe you just asked them for that.
I sure did. I listen. I believe it 100%. You asked that. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
What else I wanted to say as well, while we're talking, like this is probably another spoiler. So Walmart has their holiday layaway that's going on right now. So if you don't know, if you had an item that you have put on layaway that comes out with a coupon, and or goes on sale, you can also go for those price adjustments.
Yeah. Most places do price adjustments.
Yeah. I always ask. I always like, well, I haven't done it in a while, but when I do, I'm like, hey, can you check the prices on the items?
Yeah.
And or if I find the price is a Black Friday price, you can get that adjusted too if it's on layaway.
Yeah, if it's on
Just
layaway.
another spoiler.
Yeah, that's a good trick too for people who like to do the layaways, like on Black Friday. Like find out, like we all get the deals like a whole month ahead.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, it's
like,
already. They're already dropped. They've already leaked.
They're leaked. And so you go put those items on layaway, and then you can go into Walmart like on Black Friday and just have your items adjusted. So it's like you save. There you go, and you ain't got to deal with like the Black Friday crowd. You ain't got the only things you obviously can't get are those things that they release like the same day.
Yeah, like the store busters.
Yeah, the door busters. Unless you're one of those people that like rip the packaging and then you just like hide them or something. I don't know. Some people be all wild.
I won't say that.
No, I can't make 2 trips to Walmart, so that ain't me. But I've had people who just don't want to wait in the line and will like hide all their stuff and come back for it. But Walmart's been really good lately. Like we did Black Friday shopping last year at Walmart, and they've been pretty good at being stocked. Like
Yeah. Because I know I did the Black Friday and then I got back up the next day to see what they had left.
And it was like
there was still some stuff. So that's true. They even had TVs.
Yeah, the TVs didn't go last year too fast.
Yeah.
Either they had like an overstock or they just didn't go.
Yeah, this year I'm TV'd out this year, so I think I'll
TV'd out.
TV'd out.
I gotta tell my mom now. I'll be like, you need to be TV'd out because every year it's like, something happens to her TV, like she don't like it, she wants a bigger screen. I'm like,
right, but then it's just like 55 inches for like $300.
And that's how that's exactly her mentality. I'm like, what do you need a new TV for?
I know this year I'm gonna start doing some internalizing. Kimberly, you don't need any.
Some instant meditating to yourself, like I don't need the TV.
No, I don't need.
Yeah.
Wow, we loved having you on the show. It was very great. Thank you for stopping by. Hope that the viewers got some good insights, some good suggestions. Where can people find you on Facebook?
Just Biraza on Instagram as well. All my handles are just my name. And I also have my Coupon Pals page that I use to advertise all my coupon classes. So I've got, just search up Coupon Pals, and it's a really cute picture of me and my stockpile. And, you can find me up on there. And just follow me, and you can see the deals that I'm doing and like challenges that I do, and, the classes that you can attend.
All right, so everybody get your money right, get your coupons right, and let's do this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us in for another Live with Kimberly show. Can't wait to see you next week. Everyone have a good weekend. Be safe. Self-care. And
Just
Sunday newspapers. Get your coupons, y'all. Get your coupons.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Take care.
All right. Facebook viewers and YouTube, thanks for watching.